Tevin Hood, a rapper from Georgia better known as T Hood, was shot at his home and later died, TMZ has confirmed. The Gwinnett County police officers responded to reports of a dispute that resulted in a shooting in unincorporated Snellville Friday, and an investigation into the shooting is currently underway. We're told first responders rendered aid at the scene and transported a man to the local area hospital where he ultimately died from his injuries. Authorities say one person was detained in connection with the shooting and is being interviewed by the police. Cops are looking into the case as a homicide, though the motive for the shooting is unclear. T. Hood's mom, Yolanda, confirmed her son was the person shot at the residence where he lived. She denies there was a party going on at the time. T. Hood was well known in the Southern rap scene, dropping songs like Ready to Go, Big Booty, and Percolator. T. Hood last posted to Instagram about a week ago. He was 33. RIP. The news of T. Hood's death sent shockwaves through the Georgia hip-hop community, as well as the wider Southern rap scene where he had been steadily carving out his place for over a decade. His passing wasn't just the loss of another name in the industry, it was the abrupt silencing of a voice that had worked relentlessly to be heard in a competitive and often unforgiving world. For those who knew him personally, the headline was not just about a shooting victim. It was about a son, a brother, a friend, and an artist whose life ended far too soon, leaving behind unanswered questions, unfinished projects, and unfulfilled dreams. According to initial police reports, the shooting took place in a residential area where T. Hood had been living for some time. Friends described his home as a quiet spot, a retreat from the chaos that sometimes surrounded his professional life. It was a place where he would often write lyrics late into the night, record rough demos, and spend time with a close circle of family and friends. It was not the kind of environment where neighbors expected to see flashing police lights and crime scene tape, but on that Friday, the tranquility was shattered by the sounds of gunfire. Witnesses in the area told reporters they heard a heated exchange before the shots rang out. Some neighbors reported what sounded like shouting, followed by several loud pops that echoed down the block. One nearby resident described seeing someone run from the direction of T. Hood's home just moments after the shooting, though police have not yet confirmed whether that individual was involved. The details of the incident remain murky, with law enforcement releasing only limited information as they piece together the sequence of events. The man who was transported to the hospital, later confirmed by his mother to be T. Hood, was said to be in critical condition when paramedics arrived. Despite the efforts of medical staff, he succumbed to his injuries not long after arriving at the emergency room. The exact nature of his wounds has not been made public, but police have classified the case as a homicide, which means investigators are treating it as a criminal act rather than an accident or self-inflicted harm. Person detained in connection with the shooting has not yet been publicly identified, and as of now, no charges have been announced. Police are interviewing witnesses, reviewing security camera footage from the neighborhood, and collecting forensic evidence from the scene. The motive is still unclear, and that uncertainty has left fans and friends speculating about what might have led to the fatal confrontation. In the absence of official statements, rumors have begun circulating online, but T. Hood's family has urged the public not to jump to conclusions, emphasizing their trust in the investigation process. For Yolanda, losing her son in such a violent manner is an unimaginable pain. She has spoken briefly to local outlets, confirming that Tevin was the one shot at the residence and dismissing claims that there had been any sort of party or gathering at the time. According to her, T. Hood had been spending a quiet evening at home. She has described him as someone who was deeply dedicated to his craft, often more focused on music than on nightlife or social events. Her statements have been tinged with grief, but also with a determination to protect her son's legacy from the distortions that often follow in the wake of tragedy. T. Hood's career was emblematic of the grind that many independent Southern rappers face. Known for tracks like Ready to Go, Big Booty, and Percolator, he had built a loyal fan base through consistency, street credibility, and an unfiltered authenticity in his lyrics. His music often reflected the realities of life in Georgia, the hustle, the struggles, the celebrations, and the contradictions of chasing success while navigating personal and community challenges. Those who followed him on social media knew him as someone who engaged with his fans regularly, sharing snippets of unreleased music, behind-the-scenes glimpses of his studio life, and personal reflections on his journey. His last Instagram post, made just a week before his death, now feels haunting to many of his followers. In it, he appeared relaxed, unaware that his life would soon be cut short. Fans have flooded the comments section with tributes, memories, and messages of disbelief. Some have shared how his music helped them through tough times, while others have expressed anger and sadness over the senselessness of his death. The collective grief has been amplified by the fact that T. Hood's story is not an isolated one. In recent years, the hip-hop community has lost far too many artists to gun violence, leaving many to wonder how and when this cycle might end. In the days following the shooting, tributes began pouring in from fellow artists, DJs, producers, and local promoters who had worked with him over the years. Many described him as a hard-working, respectful, and determined individual who never let the industry's politics or challenges dampen his spirit. Others noted his sense of humor and the way he could light up a room, whether in a recording studio or backstage at a show. For them, the loss is not just about his potential as an artist, but about the absence of a person who brought energy and authenticity to every space he entered. The Gwinnett County Police Department has said that they are committed to finding answers and delivering justice for T. Hood's family. They are urging anyone with information about the incident to come forward. While this kind of appeal is standard in homicide investigations in cases involving public figures, there is often an added pressure to resolve things quickly, both to bring closure to grieving loved ones and to quell public speculation. Still, homicide investigations can be complex, and officials have cautioned that the process will take time. Meanwhile, the Southern rap community has begun organizing vigils and memorial events in T. Hood's honor. In Atlanta and other parts of Georgia, fans have been seen blasting his music from car speakers, holding up lighters and phones in tribute, and painting murals that depict him alongside messages about stopping the violence. These acts of remembrance are a way of keeping his spirit alive, even as those closest to him try to process the sudden void left in their lives. What stands out most in conversations about T. Hood is the sense that he was still on the rise, that he had not yet reached his full potential. While he had achieved recognition regionally, there was a belief among many of his peers that he was on the verge of breaking into a wider market. His work ethic, combined with a distinctive voice and lyrical style, made him stand out in a crowded field. Now, his music becomes part of a legacy that will be revisited and reinterpreted in light of his untimely passing. For his family, that legacy is both a source of comfort and a reminder of what has been lost. Yolanda has said that she hopes people will remember her son for the joy and inspiration he brought to others, rather than the circumstances of his death. As the investigation continues, the hope is that the truth will emerge and that justice will be served. But for those who love T. Hood, no court verdict or police report can undo the reality that a life full of promise was taken too soon.